Hello guys, we're back. Thought I'd do another part on this Montgomery Ward Airline 62307. I've been making some progress. Got the coils basically hooked up, and I thought I'd kind of go over that a little bit and show where we're at and stuff. It's just about ready to be mounting the switch, which I'll probably do a separate video on because I want to kind of go over that switch real close. But take a look at the schematic here. You have a set of coils here and a coil here. This one here is kind of like a pre-selector, as they call it. It's just an added selectivity for the broadcast band only. It operates in conjunction with this coil here, which is the other broadcast coil. And this one here is this guy right here. The antenna hooks in through two leads. It's run out right here. That's the way she was originally hooked up, and you just attach onto those instead of having a terminal strip with screws. Anyway, the antenna feeds into here, feeds into the tickler right here. So that's this. You got your antenna coming in here. Ground is the black wire. Make sure I'm getting on here. White wire is the antenna lead. This wire here will go to the switch, which is coming right down through here. Attaches there to the switch. Now on the other side of the coil, I got another white wire that's running down and attaches down here to the tickler. The other side of the tickler goes to ground. It shows right here. And all three ticklers for all the set of coils all go to ground. So that's what this, if you can see it, black lead here is going up to. Now the other ends of those, which is these two wires here, work in conjunction with this wire, and that makes up for this part of the switch here. And then the other side of the coils will hook onto the other side of the switch, as well as a resistor. This is part of the ABC circuit right here, going up and goes over down this way. So that feeds into the coils on this side. You have the switch here, which will change bands. When it's in broadcast, which is what it's set at right now, it runs all three coils in series, running up and into the 6L7 through the tuning condenser. And that's these guys here. Just give me a second. I'll have to pause this. Alright, back. Alright, let's see. Where were we? Oh yeah, we was talking about the antenna coil and its connections. How it's connected together. Again, it's kind of hard to see in here. But these are the tuning condensers, patterns for doing the trimming when you do alignment, and that's represented by these guys here, and they just one end hooks to the next end to the next end. You keep the coils basically running the same direction, and you're winding, so you end up with a cross going across from one to the other and across here. Then these ends right down here, here, and here all run up, and they'll run up to the band switch, which will be mounted right here. That pretty much takes care of the antenna coil. When you get into the oscillator, it's pretty much the same. The only difference with it, basically, unlike the antenna coils here, the three main ones, each one having its own pad or trimmer on it. Only two, which will be, this is your be the highest frequency, mid-wave frequency, and broadcast here. The broadcast does have a pattern, but it's only at one end, and it actually is connecting these coils together. And the main reason for that is they're making use a little bit of some of the other coils as they operate the broadcast. So they're tying in the coils together to increase number of windings to increase the inductance. But so consequently, they're kind of hooked up a little differently. You got one going across here, and then the other one comes down this way, hooking into here. These guys, you get one wire here, and one here, and then the last wire coming across from over here. That'll feed into the switch. This, if you see this guy right here, C4, that is this pattern here, and that's part of the low frequency end adjustment on the oscillator for the broadcast only. There's nothing for your middle wave and high frequency ends for your short waves. You only adjust those for the high end of the dial. So those will be adjusted with these two here and this one here. So these three here adjust the high frequency, well, the high end of the dial for all three frequencies, and then this guy here, which is C4, adjusts for around 600 kilohertz adjustment for the low end of the band. And it ties to ground through a couple just microcapacitors with in between them a lead going up here. And basically how the switch works is when it starts switching into different bands, it switches out certain coils and changing where the ground picks up at. So that's how these wires run. From there it goes through another cap right into the grid. The ticklers feed off the plate and come down, and they're fed right here, these two areas here, and this one here. This one here, this little is just a tie point. That's all it is. It hooks to no coils whatsoever. The local oscillator is pretty well wired up, and I got to finish up on, this is the mixer tube, converter tube here. Down underneath is the, which is kind of hard to see, this socket here is just the rectifier, IF amplifier, and this one here will be the detector and first audio, and then of course final output tube. We've got the filaments wired in, capacitors have been rebuilt, put in place. This has they fit, they're insulated from the chassis because they float, and the main reason for the floating is to tie them to the center tap, and then we put a resistor in here, multi-point resistor, 10 ohm. What this does is allow us to create a negative voltage for biasing. It feeds bias for the first audio as well as bias for the output tube, and that's this guy right here. So anyway, I still gotta do some more wiring. I gotta get these resistors, these dropping resistors for this tube and this tube here, and finish up some of the other wiring on it. We still got some of the IFs got to be hooked up, and I've got to cut the shaft for the tone control and get it put in place. But on the next video we'll be ready to hook this up, and I'll go over how to figure out this switch, the way it looks here, to what's going on in the schematic right here. So that'll be coming up real soon here, so I'll be doing another video on it. The other thing is yeah, you probably can see kind of a resistor down in there. That's the 1 meg resistor for the tuning eye. It's this guy right here, and which they're always fun to put in there. The old one was completely open. That's how come they had a big large resistor sitting here. Those call for a 1/10 watt, and the main reason is they don't draw much current and they fit right inside the socket. But the old one in there was completely open. So again, that's this guy right here. So anyway, I'll just continue on, and like I said, I'll make a video dealing with that band switch and how it gets hooked up and everything. So I want to thank you for your comments and for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.